AskReddit by affectionate ad 1060. What is the most important lesson learned from COVID-19? Healthcare needs a overhaul. When the shit really hits the fan, we're fucked. Yep. Movies taught me that if something terrible enough happens, humanity will band together and defeat it. Lies. Marketing is everything. If they has marketed face masks as the best way to protect yourself instead of protecting others, we would have actually been out of this in 2 weeks like initially promised. People are selfish and horrible to each other. That it wouldn't take much for civilized people to turn on each other. A wise man once said something like humanity is perpetually 9 meals away from utter barbarism. Most grown adults are nasty and have to be reminded to wash their hands. And don't cough in your hand. My god, do grown adults not know this? You should take the time to spend with those you love. And it showed me my list of people who I love should have been a lot shorter than I'll let it be. How comfortable I seriously am with just myself. My wife died in late November 2019. The whole world shutting down and me being forced to keep myself company for months from March 2020 was the best thing that ever happened to me. Gave me the space I needed to get my head right, and took away all the social pressure surrounding grief. COVID saved me. Bold of you to assume we've learned anything. Edit. Cheers for my first gold. The biggest takeaway I can come up with is how underserviced rural areas are. The local grocery store can't offer curbside pickup. DoorDash doesn't exist here. All the answers for what we should do in a pandemic aren't feasible where there's only 500 people. People are shittier than I expected. 20 plus years in retail, they were exactly what I expected. Alcohol doesn't improve my life, it just feels good for a moment. 9 months sober. I found myself drinking alone every day early in the pandemic. I considered myself a social drinker. Nope. Just drinking to get drunk. Decided to cut back for a while. That cutback turned to quitting cold turkey. It's been over 2 years since my last drink. Apparently, toilet paper is more valuable than anything. I will never forgive the hordes of people who reacted that way. Fuck's sake. I like people not being near me. Yup. People standing 6 feet apart in lines is nice, for instance. People don't suck as much as I thought. It's far worse. If your plan relies on everyone working together, it is doomed to fail. Pandemic was just the proverbial group project in school all over again. A couple of intelligent and hard-working people trying to keep everything from falling apart while the rest sit on their ass or choose to straight up sabotage everything. Yet somehow everyone gets the exact same grade. Deleted. I work in supply chain. Everyone from my chain of command to truckers to terminal management were all saying the same thing. Last year was the single worst they had ever seen it. Can only hope there are big changes in the pipe. Just because they are voted officials, it's clear they aren't the smartest, nor do they have your best interest in mind. The extent to which politicians will sell out public health for their political advantage is much higher than I thought. Usually life or death situations are good for all politicians. Just be a voice of stability and hope and you're good. We all pull together and get through it. This time, dividing us intentionally to cause chaos? I still can't believe real people did that. Deleted. A lot of families aren't ready for digital learning, either. Not everyone has a computer for every child, let alone broadband internet access, or an adult to stay home with the kids. Lockdown really pointed out the difference between the haves and the have-nots. Non-essential jobs pay a lot more than essential ones. So fucking true. I work in food retail. I was called essential. Certainly did not feel essential and still don't. But at least they said stuff like thanks and good job. What's that old saying? We're all just 3 meals away from total chaos? I've been thinking about that adage a lot the past few years. Edit. Holy hell, it never ceases to amaze me when a throwaway comment resonates like this. The last time I got anywhere near this number of upvotes was when I casually said I've never been to a Waffle House. Edit 2. Nothing to add. Just wanted to piss off the cunt who doesn't like edits. As a chef, I can actually confirm some people are only a 10-minute wait away from total chaos. If there was ever a zombie attack, people would definitely lie about being bit. The entire reaction to zombie attacks in movies and stories is entirely realistic to me now. I remember watching 28 Days Later and doubting how everything got that bad that quick. Post-COVID, I'd say it's realistic. People are dumb as fuck. A decent amount of people I work with surprised me a lot during the pandemic. People I used to have some respect for revealed themselves as complete idiots. It was really sobering. During COVID, I was laid off for months and spent that whole time keeping up to date on everything going on in the world. I mean everything I possibly could, every single day. I reached the point of obsessive and the massive amount of negative crushed me. There was so much bad going on, so much suffering that eventually, one day I just set it all down and said I'll check in a month. Best decision I made that year, the only thing that kept my sanity. Just taking time away and not bathing in it every day. Edit. Holy cow, thanks for the silver. Hope everyone is doing better now. 2020 was the longest decade of my life. Edit. Holy cow, thanks for the gold. Take care of yourselves, people. I took up Quokka videos as a therapy for the news. This is a very underrated comment. My wife and I had to the same. For our own sanity. It was all we could think and talk about. It was literally freeing when we agreed to not check the news at all. We need to teach statistics and critical thinking better. I knew the average person was pretty dumb, but man, did the pandemic shine a giant spotlight on how bad things truly are and how much of a negative effect that can have on the population as a whole. People make irrational decisions when afraid. Fear is a mind killer. If in a really dangerous situation that requires unity, we're fucked. Bottle caps won't be the new currency. Toilet paper will. That 50% of jobs can be done from home while the other 50% deserve more than they are being paid. Bosses, hey essential workers, thanks for working through the pandemic. Workers, oh we're essential, can we have a pay rise? Bosses, no, get back to work. You can have all the free time in the world and still manage to do nothing with it. There is not enough time to do all the nothing we want to do. Bill Watterson. Get ahead of the curve by producing your own toilet paper for the next pandemic. We should all just get bidets problem solved. People do not have the skills to evaluate, or read, studies and draw appropriate conclusions from. I.e., a study states it's a preliminary study and people use it to draw conclusions. And then try to argue with the experts in the field that do have those skills. The Dunning-Kruger effect is real.